It's not they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by the goal. You know the thing.
The world is actually a small piece of the universe, right? And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up. And they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it.
Is this thing on? I thought I broke my mic for a second. I'm sorry, folks.
Everybody comes in your grandmother a year. Everybody comes in your grandmother a year.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce. Yep.
Get your words straight, Jack.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
They felt pretty comfortable after day 2.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
They felt pretty comfortable after day 2.
Is this fucking thing on? Is this on? Hello? Alright, folks, I think it's on. Welcome to another episodic installation of Above It Motherfucking All, the show where I look at my phone and, don't pay attention to the actual audience. Alright, my phone's on silent. No more interruptions, folks. This is all me. Okay. Incredible. Wait. Max! Alright, he's sleeping. Alright. Coffee in the foreground. Alright. Don't know smudges on my glasses here, because I did that shit before the show started. Could you imagine? Didn't even wait. What a world. Alright. So, as this is a regular day of regular news, I have, of course, have done no show prep whatsoever, so let's go look at Google News and see what's going on, see what's trending, see what's popping on in the world, and see if there's anything I should talk about. There's a tornado confirmed. That's crazy. 10 children among more than a dozen dead following severe weather. Oh, jeez. All right, I don't want to read that part. The Rogue Department, how the Trump DOJ trashed legal and political norms. Incredible. Democrats face filibuster stress test on key voting bill. It's not just Manchin and Cinema. Oh, it's incredible news. Lord Emery, why does the news suck? Like, it's children dying, war, climate change, there's weather killing children, Biden's not doing anything once again, more kids are dying. Wait, mass shooting, don't forget about those. We have climate disaster, we have hurricanes, we have storms, we have war, we have drone strikes. 18 dead, 12 dead, 9 dead, 1 dead. Like, what the fuck? What am I violent string of weekend shootings in Houston leaves 9 injured, 5 dead. The week ahead, more dead. Manhunt continues after Iowa deputy shot. Oh, wait, let's read this one. Officer down, folks. Alright. Manhunt continues after Iowa deputy shot multiple times. Let's read. This is from kcci.com. A Lynn County deputy has been injured after being shot multiple times while responding to a robbery in Cogan Sunday night. KCRG reports the Lynn County Sheriff's Office responded to a report of an alarm at Casey's General Store at 5110 Highway 13 in Cogan at about 10:19 p.m. in Cogan. What kind of writing is this, by the way? My audio's clipping? That's not good. I thought I broke my microphone earlier. Let me unplug it and plug it back in. Hold up. On? Is it working? Anything? Anything whatsoever? Hello? Anyway, Highway 13 in Cogan at about 10:19 p.m. in Cogan. Thank you for telling me that 3 times. In a news release, officials said a Lynn County deputy arrived, entered the store, and was met by an armed suspect. Amazing. Well, it's not amazing, but... Officials said the suspect is a black male in his mid-30s, about 5 feet and 10 inches to 6 feet and 2 inches tall, and weighs about 200 to 220 pounds. He was seen wearing a dark-colored hooded sweatshirt and dark pants. Incredible. The suspect fired multiple shots at the deputy, hitting him with several rounds. The deputy has since been flown to University of Iowa hospitals and clinics for serious injuries. We have not received an update on his condition. The suspect then fled in a van, heading north. out of Coggan once again. All right. So, you know, sucks for that guy. But, you know, I don't really care. That's a lot better than reading about mass shootings anyway. So, officer down, folks. Let's see how it ends. Ransomware payments may be tax deductible. Oh my god. Oh my god. You ready for this? This is crazy. Ransomware payments may be tax deductible. I'm reading from Fox Business, folks. You can see it's Fox Business because the NASDAQ is up 0.02%. Hell yeah, baby. Let's get them gains. All right. JBS, SA, and Colonial Pipeline, both critical units of the U.S. infrastructure, forked over multi-million-dollar ransom payments last month after cyber criminals threatened their computer systems. Yo, that reads like the fucking back of a DVD, or not even the back of a VHS tape from like 1993. Like, let me read this again and just like, okay, imagine this is a PS1 game and you're renting it at Blockbuster, all right? Colonial Pipeline, right, forked over multi-million-dollar ransom payments last month after cyber criminals threatened their computer systems. What the fuck threatened their computer systems? Bro, I mean, I can't. The silver lining, if any, question mark, those payments may, in fact, be tax deductible. Let's go. The hit on JBS, the largest food manufacturer yet to be hit by ransomware, was the second attack in a month on critical industry, as Trump would say, industry. After a gang of hackers, this is like an episode description for like a fucking early 2000s TV show ported over to Hulu or Netflix or some shit. After a gang of hackers targeted servers supporting JBS's operations in North America and Australia, production was disrupted for several days. What do you mean audio's not great? What does that mean? As far as I'm concerned, that doesn't mean anything. Audio's not great. Well, I mean, sucks for you. It sounds good to me. I don't know what you want. Like, audio's not great. Wait a second. How about this? How about this? Is this working? After a gang of cyber criminals, I'm sorry, I just can't with this. This reminds me of in the 2016 debate between Hillary and Trump, when Trump was like, "We're gonna be tough on cyber." Like, what? You're gonna be tough on cyber? What does that mean? Right? Okay, we're gonna be tough on cyber. Right before that, hackers believed to operate with impunity in Russia and allied states shut down operation of the Colonial Pipeline, the largest U.S. fuel pipeline, for nearly a week. Amazing. I wonder what the cyber criminals will do next. A gang of hackers. In both cases, officials who feared larger consequences paid the ransom. JBS confirmed that it paid the equivalent of $11 million to hackers who broke in its computer systems. Officials at Colonial paid a ransom of 75 Bitcoin, roughly $4.4 million, to get back online after a separate gang of... Oh my god! I said this like sarcastically earlier, but after a separate gang of cyber criminals using the dark side ransomware variant. Yo, these words, man. I'm sorry. Again, I feel like I'm watching like a fucking like early 2000s TV show, right? But I'm watching it on Netflix and I'm reading the episode descriptions before every episode. Okay, again. Officials at Colonial paid a ransom of 75 Bitcoins to get back online after a separate gang of cyber criminals using the dark side ransomware variant broke into the company's computer system. Although paying these criminals goes against the FBI guidance, the U.S. government offers a little noticed incentive for those who do pay. This is where it gets good. Deductions for ransomware payments are usually allowed under law and established guidance, according to multiple tax experts interviewed by the Associated Press. However, the IRS offers no formal guidance on ransomware payments. We know what this means, folks. Some officials fear, however, that the deduction is a potentially problematic incentive that could entice businesses to pay ransoms against the advice of law enforcement. At a minimum, they say, the deductibility sends a discordant message to businesses under duress. Now imagine, again, most of these businesses are paying $0 in tax, right? So, it's not like this is really going to affect their bill, but I feel like this is going to make a lot of, I feel like what's going to happen here, right, is they're going to try to, have these, tax deductions, and they're going to try to have, the government pay them back, and they're just going to do this as a way. Again, the government, paid back, I think it was Colonial, some bitcoins, right? They just gave it to them. So I feel like that's going to be something that they're going to try to do. They're going to, try to profit on both ends. Pay a ransomware person, or just write them themselves. Pay the ransomware. They have the money in their fucking secret account, and then they get the tax deduction, right? Then they might get a paycheck from the government, right? Sounds great to me. It seems a little incongruous to me, said New York Rep. John Katko, the top Republican on the House Committee on Homeland Security. This guy, a Republican, is against fraudulent fucking economic scams? Okay, interesting. Deductibility is a piece of a bigger quandary stemming from the rise in ransomware attacks, in which, again, sounds like a fucking episode description, in which cyber criminals scramble computer data and demand payment for unlocking the files. Again, this is Fox Business, so they're writing this for boomers. The government doesn't want payments that fund criminal gangs and could encourage more attacks, but failing to pay can have devastating consequences for businesses and potentially for the economy overall. For instance, the nearly week-long closure of the Colonial Pipeline, which transports about 45% of fuel consumed on the East Coast, sparked long lines and panic buying at gas stations across the Southeast. The attack on JBS SA, the world's largest meat processing company, that's one hell of a term. The two words, meat processing, that's doing a lot of work. Meat processing. Think about that, folks. Meat processing. What does that mean? What kind of meat are they processing? That's crazy. Threatened to disrupt food supplies. Doesn't affect me, bro. I don't eat that shit. This was a very difficult decision to make for our company, and for me personally, said Andrea Nogueira, the CEO of JBS USA. However, we felt this decision had to be made to prevent any potential risk for our customers. Who cares about your customers, bro? They're meat eaters. Alright, whatever. This is really funny, so I expect this to be something that's just going to be funny in the future. Goddamn. Meat processing. That's again, just think about these words that you're reading. When you read the news, think about these words. A gang of cyber criminals. Again, tell me that doesn't sound like a fucking Netflix episode description of a fucking early 2000s fucking drama show. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Alright, I'm scrolling through Google News again. Man killed, woman critically injured in shooting. That sucks. How Democrats are unilaterally disarming in the redistricting wars. Yep. Man in custody after woman dies from gunshot wound near downtown Greenville. Yikes. I don't care about Putin. Is it Prime Day, or is tomorrow Prime Day? Teenage boy drowns. Victim of shooting dies. Russia dies. Tornado. Maryland graduate killed in stabbing. Yo, this whole, like, what is wrong with the world? I just want to talk about, like, oh, cute puppy barked. More news at 11. Today and tomorrow are Prime Day? What? There's 2 Prime Days? What the fuck? 1 dead, 6 injured. 1 dead, 1 critical. I just fell apart crying. Biden...
And we learned today that the Biden's German Shepherd, Champ, has died. In a statement, the first family called Champ a constant, cherished companion by their side through joyful moments and grief-stricken days. The 13-year-old was the elder of their 2 rescues.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to begin with the heartbreak in Alabama in the wake
I don't
of that.
care about Alabama. The White House on Saturday announced the death of Champ, one of President Joe Biden's dogs. Mr. Biden and First Lady Jill Biden said in a statement that the 13-year-old German Shepherd passed away peacefully at home. I'm gonna fucking cry. Get the fuck out of here. He was our constant, cherished companion during the last 13 years and was adored by the entire Biden family, even as Champ's strength waned in his last months. When we came into a room, he would immediately pull himself up, his tail always wagging, and nuzzle us for an ear scratch or a belly rub. I'm gonna fucking cry. He loved nothing more than curling up at our feet in front of a fire at the end of the day, joining us as a comforting presence in meetings, or sunning himself in the White House garden. The statement continued. Why is that necessary? Who cares? The statement continued. I'm trying to read the motherfucking statement. I don't need to waste my goddamn time reading the statement continued. I know the statement's continuing. I already know that. In his younger days, he was happiest chasing golf balls on the front lawn of the Naval Observatory or racing to catch our grandchildren as they ran around our backyard in Delaware. The statement said that in our most joyful moments and in our most grief-stricken days, he was there with us, sensitive to our every unspoken feeling and emotion. We love our sweet, good boy, and will miss him always. I can't even read this. The Biden family has a younger dog, Major, who recently received more training to help him become more acquainted with living in the White House. Major was previously involved in 2 biting incidents. Good, fuck him up. Y'all, I'm gonna fucking cry. Like, seriously though. I'm gonna, this is it, folks. Oh my god. Wow. Oh my god. I was not expecting. Again, mass shootings, children dying, but what gets me is Biden's dog. That's what gets me. Alright, next. Oh, man dead after shooting. Girl dies, teen in critical condition. Husband and wife die. See, I'm not, making this up. I'm not making this up, folks. Literally almost every news article is a mass shooting. Fuck. Alright, so this ought to be good, folks.
But what mess?
This ought to be good. Alright. Can I turn this up? Portland Police Association leader explains why all members of Portland Police Riot Squad resigned. Let's watch.
Message does their resignation send?
Well, so they didn't quit; they resigned from a voluntary position, that message. This message.
So first of all, again, this news has been misreported. A lot. A lot of people are like, "Woo! Victory! Victory! The cops resigned." But not a single cop resigned. What they did was they resigned their specific post, effectively destroying the post of the Rapid Response Squad. That's a key difference. So, for example, imagine, you're a teacher, right? And let's say, it's field day is coming up, and you're normally on the field day, planning committee. Well, let's say you resign from that committee. That doesn't mean you stopped being a teacher. It just means you're not the one setting up the water slides, okay? So I just want to be very clear of the distinction because a lot of people have been misreporting this news. So let's read.
It's not just about our officer being indicted. We sent a letter to the city of Portland because we represent, obviously, the Rapid Response Team members. We sent a letter to them in October stating all the issues and problems and concerns that they had based on what happened over 150 days. We had 150 plus days of unprecedented, sustained violence in the city of Portland. And our Rapid Response Team, along with others from the police bureau, came out
I wonder why there was sustained violence in Portland. Is it because of, I don't know, the fact that cops are killing people all over the fucking goddamn world? Anyway, I'm not going to read the rest of that, or watch the rest of that. I'll rather read it. All the members of the Portland Police Bureau's highly trained Rapid Response Unit, which has responded to riots, resigned last week after the recent indictment of Officer Corey Budworth for allegedly assaulting a photographer during an overnight riot last summer. Again, we're reading from Fox News here, folks. On Tuesday, a Multnomah County grand jury charged Budworth with one count of fourth-degree assault related to the August 18th, 2020 incident. That night, according to the Portland Police Association, about 200 demonstrators, many equipped with tactical helmets. Whoa! Let me read that again. Hold up. I might be siding with the cops on this one. This is some crazy shit. That night, according to the Portland Police Association, about 200 demonstrators, interesting, demon is right in their name, many equipped with tactical helmets. So you're telling me that demonstrators showed up to a protest with tactical helmets after riot cops started shooting people in the heads with rubber bullets? Sending several people to the hospital, killing people, and blinding people? Now all of a sudden you're telling me the demonstrators are wearing tactical helmets? By the way, what the fuck is a tactical helmet? Face coverings and armed with a variety of weapons. What does that mean? A variety of weapons. What? What is like a baseball bat and a golf club? Is that a variety of weapons? Technically. A pair of scissors and a fucking, like a Nerf gun. Is that a variety of weapons? A slingshot and a fucking, what is a variety of weapons? What are the weapons, bro? Are they guns? Do they have guns? If they had guns, this article would say they had guns. So instead, it's a variety of weapons. Leaf blowers and umbrellas. Descended on the Multnomah building in southeast Portland. Multiple dumpsters were set on fire. Buildings were defaced. And windows were broken. Whoa. A riot was declared at the planned event after someone from the crowd launched a Molotov cocktail into the building and set it ablaze. Yo, that sounds badass. After nearly 75 consecutive nights of violence, destruction, and mayhem. And mayhem. Like, violence and destruction, that wasn't enough. We had to throw some mayhem in there. A small group of RRT, Rapid Response Team, officers, including Officer Budworth, were again tasked with dealing with the riot. The Portland Police Association said, per PPB command staff orders, RRT officers cleared the rioters from the area to allow the Fire Bureau to extinguish the blaze. But the rioters were not satisfied. Yo, this is some crazy shit. Hold up. According to the union, rioters regrouped and began marching back toward the building. Yo! As the Rapid Response Team was working to clear the area, Officer Budworth, quote, was forcefully knocked to the ground. Officers deployed pepper spray and less lethal munitions as the crowd grew more aggressive. You're telling me that the police officers, they didn't have a variety of weapons. No, we're going to tell you exactly what their weapons were. Okay? Exactly, except they won't, because less lethal munitions doesn't mean anything. Several rioters interfered with an officer attempting to place one person under arrest. Interfered. I love the way Fox writes this shit. RRT officers, including Officer Budworth, used their police bureau issued batons. I love how they... I love this. I love this. I love that. This is amazing. Like, again, I'm just like throwing... Like, when you read, you gotta like pay attention to this stuff. So this is the police are saying this. So keep in mind, this is the police. They're using their police bureau issued batons as opposed to police bureau non-issued batons, as opposed to just batons. Police bureau issued batons. Like, is someone trying to like fucking puff the word count there? Like, what is that? To try and stop the crowd's criminal activity. What was the criminal activity? Protesting? The union's description of events continued. Per his training and in response to the active aggression of a rioter interfering with a lawful arrest, Officer Budworth used baton pushes to move a rioter, now known to be Terry Jacobs, out of the area. What does that mean, now known? A rioter. What does that mean, a rioter? Moved a rioter now known as Terry Jacobs. Jacobs, an activist and photographer, fell to the ground. Cell phone video showing Budworth striking Jacobs' head from behind quickly circulated on social media. Is that part of the police issued training? Striking someone when they're running away with a baton? Boom. Again, I just like, this is a bunch of bullshit. I just wanted to talk about this because a lot of people have been misreporting this story. So, do your research, read an article to the end before you report on this stuff, folks. It's important. But again, this is Fox News, so just like the way that they write this stuff is incredible. And you just have to like be able to read through this bullshit because it's a lot of motherfucking ass fuck. So... Time for the check my phone segment. Sent the video of the assault. I don't know if I want to watch that, to be honest. But if people want to watch it, I'll throw it in the description. I love this message. No, I like all people in above it all chat. Even Felix, although he may be very mean to me. I just haven't talked to you folks for a lot. He may be very mean to me. God bless your soul, Bodan. Holy shit. 11-year-old shot in the chest. 3 dead, others injured. Triple homicide. Is there anything else? Alright, folks. How's everyone doing today? I am a rude boy. Fucking goddamn it. Hold the phone, folks. I'm gathering media. Like, I don't want to report on that. Like, I don't want to turn my channel into, like, reporting on mass shootings every day, you know? Like, it's just not something I'm interested in. Murder, gunfire, shootout, murder, waitress abducted. Yo, who cares about all this shit? Man dead after shooting. This is crazy stuff, man. Let's look at world news. See what's going on in the world. International Day of Yoga. Y'all want to do some yoga today? As Bodan would say, y'all want to do some yoga today? I don't know. Maybe it's just a slow news day, you know, like maybe no one, like, maybe there's just nothing going on. Like, you know, like, maybe there's just nothing going on. I mean, outside of the mass shootings, right? Like, everyone's so busy reporting on mass shootings that they just don't give a fuck about anything else. So let's get into local news, folks. It is I, your local news spokesperson. So yesterday was the 61st day of protests in the city of Elizabeth City over the police execution, the unlawful execution of Andrew Brown Jr. in a school zone. By the way, reminder, police fired shots into their own vehicles. The very intelligent officers, Robert Morgan, Daniel Meads, and Aaron Llewellyn, shot into their own vehicles that were sitting on the street in a school zone at 8:30 a.m. Some of the stray bullets entered a neighbor's house, nearly killing them. If they were home, they probably would have been killed, as the bullet went through their couch that they sit in frequently. So I want to remind everyone of these details. So yesterday was Father's Day. Andrew Brown had 7 children that no longer have a father. And usually on Sunday, what we do is we march by Andrew's house and have a moment of silence. And so we did just that yesterday. So we had a very small crowd because I guess the tropical depression was going through North Carolina, and about 20, maybe even 10 minutes after we started marching, it started raining, and it just got progressively more and more and more and more rainy, as you can see in the footage here. And so I couldn't post anything until I got home. So we marched all the way to Andrew's house. It started raining like a motherfucker. As we were marching back, it continued to rain like a motherfucker. We still had, again, a solid group of about 10 people show up, though. And it goes to show that no matter what happens, from day to day, there's going to be a group that shows up, myself included. I've been there for 61 days straight. So there's going to be a group that shows up every single day, regardless of if it's a rain, regardless if it's a tropical depression. Let's wait until hurricane season, right? I'm looking forward to hurricane season protesting. That's going to be my shit. And so as we got back to where we started, the police dismissed themselves. They were all like, good job, guys. We sat in these cars in a temperature-controlled car and did nothing while protesters were marching down the street. I actually wanted to show, I've got this this thing that I didn't post that I should post. So I'm going to look for this real quick. There was a really very, very bizarre police vehicle setup that I wanted to shine light on because it was highly irregular. Here it is. So we had 2 cop cars, wait for it, blocking a road like this. So can someone, now again, I want to remind everyone, we have been filing complaints almost every 2 I'd say we were going to be filing complaints with the police department 5 or 6 days a week. And so we told them to block the streets, and we told them to turn the car sideways so that they could block both lanes. And this is what they ended up doing yesterday. They had 2 police cars. One was blocking sideways in one lane, and the other one was blocking right behind it, leaving one of the lanes fully open. Now, as we know, if someone has intent to drive through a crowd, they're obviously only going to be driving on the right side of the road. Duh! If someone is intending on killing people, something that is a criminally unlawful act, right? Obviously, they would never do such a thing, such as driving on the wrong side of the road for 3 seconds. Right? That would never happen. And so, that's what's so confusing about, the way that the cops are doing this. So, we got a little pissed off at that. And as a result, because the cops dismissed themselves, our permit was stated to last until 3 p.m. And so what we did was we got back at around 2:45. And the cops left, and then we went up and to talk to Lieutenant Dumbfuck, and he got really, really mad. He got really, really mad. He went on the radio and was trying to get his officers back, but he was he wasn't saying anything on the radio. He was holding it up to his mouth, and then he kept going so you wanna have us come back out here for another 15 minutes? And we're yeah, the permit says we have until 3. You're telling us to file permits, so we're following the permits. And then he was the permit says that when you get to the end of the route that the parade is over. And so what we did is we had the permit paper. We pulled the paper out and showed it to him and said, it says that nowhere on this paper. It says nowhere that the route and the event ends when we reach the end of the parade route. It doesn't say that anywhere. And we showed him the permit, and he was okay, so you want me to call them back out for another 10 minutes? And and we're yup. We're yup. So that's exactly what we did. And so we marched up and down Main Street in a tropical depression for about 15 minutes, and it was pretty good. The cops were very, very upset. They didn't block any of the side streets, so we could have gotten killed, and it would have been their fault. But, we didn't get killed. Fortunately, we're still alive. But again, I don't know why the cops are, the main thing here is why is it the cops that tell themselves to go home? Right? If it were any other event, right, the cops would not be saying, oh, like, all right, like, if they're doing security at a concert, as soon as, like, the set is finished, do the cops go home? Does security go home? Or did they wait until all the fucking people in the band, right, put their fucking instruments down, walk off stage, and get into their fucking bus or whatever? Like that's the thing, is why are they dismissing themselves, like, before we finish what we're doing? So we decide to walk up to one of the lieutenants that was still there. All the other cops dismissed themselves. And so we walked up to them and just, asked them a simple question. And they tried to fuck us over. We pulled out the permit. And, oops, right? Isn't that interesting, by the way? That law enforcement doesn't know the law? Why did this guy, like, why did Lieutenant Judge decide to say, oh, no, we don't have to be here when the event ends? Why did he think that was acceptable to say? The permit says until 3 o'clock. You're out here until 3 o'clock, bitch. I hate to be the one to tell you, but, like, you can't clock out early and expect to keep your job, right? Like, that's a problem. So, yeah, and again, like, it's just been really, like, the police here are fucking frustrating. They're ridiculous. They're full of themselves. They're narcissistic. They're losers. They're crybabies. They're whiners. And they're fucking, like, man-children. They're all a bunch of bitch-faced bitch motherfuckers, man. And I love sticking it to them. That's my shit. And especially in a tropical depression. We are already wet. Why not be wet for another 15 minutes? That was what we decided on. And it was pretty badass. And then we went home. And all in all, pretty good day of protesting. Today, I don't know what's going to happen today. There's supposed to be a county commissioner meeting. Some people want to go in the meeting and give their voices out. Some people don't and think that it's a waste of time and a trap. So, we'll see how that ends up. I will be covering... If people stay out and march, I will be covering the march. If nobody stays out and marches and everyone goes into the county commissioner meeting, I will go in there as well. But if there's going to be street action, I'm always going to be in the street. So that's going to be my decision-making process. Also, Wednesday, Elizabeth City protesters are going to be bussed into Raleigh, and they're going to be doing a protest on the state capital of North Carolina over a House bill that says any gatherings of over 3 people can be legally declared a riot at any time. It's unconstitutional, but doesn't matter because cops don't follow the Constitution. They follow whatever their boss says. So, the Republicans and some Democrats are trying to basically pass a law that if you're outside with 4 people or more, you're a riot. Doesn't matter if it's like a cookout on your front lawn. It's a riot, motherfucker. Doesn't matter if you're walking with your homies on over to Taco Bell. That shit's a riot. So that's what they're trying to say. And so Elizabeth City is going to they've got a free bus. If you're in Elizabeth City, you can go check that out. And so I will, again, be holding it down here in Elizabeth City. I will not be going to Raleigh. I will be staying in Elizabeth City because we have to continue having our daily marches here. And so that's where I'm at. So just so y'all know, I'm staying here. It would be cool to go to Raleigh, but, that's not my position within the movement. So I will document what happens in Elizabeth City. And we'll go from there. Another reminder is Governor of North Carolina, Roy Cooper, has said that he's interested in coming down in the next 2 weeks. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if that happens. And I've not heard any other follow-up. I was told that he would give us a date, in a couple days, and that was a couple days ago. So I don't know if I just haven't gotten the follow-up or if he hasn't given the follow-up. I'm not sure what's going on. But Roy-ass motherfucking boy is coming in, I guess. And so that's the case. So. But again, if you're interested in, and you live in Elizabeth City, there's going to be a bus, I think at 11 a.m., free of charge. I don't know where it is, but I can maybe get that information and give it back to you tomorrow if you're interested. Or you can just come out to the protest and ask whoever has the free bus. And so that's going to be the case. So, bada boom, that's it. Day 61, huge win. The governor said that he supports the protests, but that was it. I support good things, and I'm against bad things. End. End scene. Finn. Like, roll credits. Like, that's bad. That's our governor right now. Catherine, you wish. I also want to talk about real quick as an amendment, the people that I photographed and filmed performing white power gestures, they work for the Centaura, Albemarle, what was it? It was some shit. They work at a hospital. I forget what department. I will get that information right now. And I've got news on the other guy as well. Just give me a sec. Cardiology department at Centaura Albemarle Hospital. So there were white supremacists flashing white supremacist gestures. By the way, Mike K, thank you for the super chat earlier. I appreciated that. Again, I don't like doing super chats in the middle of segments because I find them distracting. But thank you. I appreciate it. And that's a huge problem. If you work in EMS and then get transferred to any sort of healthcare, any healthcare whatsoever, while being a white supremacist in a city that is, I think it's like 50-something% black, that's a problem, right? If you are an avowed and proud white supremacist and you have black people who, are in your care in life or death situations, that's a problem. And so people are going to be calling and filing reports. If you want to do so, you're welcome to do so. I gave you the information. You can go to my Twitter and you can find more information on that. The other person who was laughing and singing along about a drug dealer being dead was apparently attempting to enroll in a volunteer fire department in a nearby county. We called that volunteer fire department, and they have been blacklisted from the fire department. So that's a huge win. That person was a cop. It is unclear if they are still a cop. They were a cop, and they were attempting to become a firefighter, and now they're going to be neither because of their racist actions. So, huge win. I also want to say the wife of the white supremacist who flashed the white supremacist symbol works at a middle school. And so I will be getting more details on that shortly, I think. And so we'll see what we can do about that. But get owned, folks. You don't want to get owned? Don't be racist. It's that simple. We're waiting for a public apology. I would love it if these motherfuckers go out there and say, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I was clearly inebriated. And, I was a racist motherfucker. I was drunk. I did something stupid and foolish. And I'm going to move out of Elizabeth City, North Carolina, and go live in the hills somewhere and never interact with other people ever again. And I apologize for all the problems that I've caused. If they want to do that, sure. But they're not going to do that. So what are you going to do? Huge win, folks. Huge win. But yeah, okay, so I don't want to end the show too early. So if anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, anything that they want to know, any information that I potentially would have that you would be interested in, we can have a transfer of knowledge. Just post in the chat if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Hey Chuck, how's it going today? How you doing? I had just finished getting all the knots out of my hair, and then I walked in a tropical depression. So, where's Max? Max! 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 Look at him. Look at this dog. Maxie, you want to come up here? He's coming. How do you do your thumbnail photos? I just have my preset logo, and I just take photos at the protest, and I pick the best one, and go from there. Look at this dog. Are you seeing this? Hey, buddy. You got hair on your nose. Hi. Look at him. This is Max the dog, folks. The Labour Party in the UK seems to be not so good. My facial expressions? Wait, what? What do you mean? Like this? I just do this. I don't know what you mean. I used to do thumbnails for every upload, but I let YouTube auto-generate them now. So YouTube, all my thumbnails that aren't for the live streams are auto-generated. So it's just whatever YouTube decides is best. And I make a lot of faces in general, so look at this goddamn dog, folks. Are y'all seeing this animal? This is my best friend in the whole wide world. Right, Max? You're a dog. Can we get a nail check? They've all been broken. This was the last one. It broke a while ago. I don't remember it breaking, but they've all been broken. This one broke again. This one broke again. So once I find my clippers, which I don't know where they are right now, but once I find them, I will be probably doing something with my nails. So. Max is super chill today. Yeah, he's just hanging out. Right, Max? You're just hanging out. Well, I mean, they look good, right? But, like, no, they don't look good. You're lying. Like, they're all different sizes and shit. Like, and this one, like, you know, they're all different shapes and sizes, right? Like, they don't look good. They look like shit. Look at this dog. Hey, bud. You seeing this? Are you seeing this? Hi. That's his spot. That's Max's spot. Right, Max? This is your spot. Are you seeing this? Like, what am I supposed to do in this situation? Is action required from me? Can I just be an observer right now? Look at that goddamn dog. Holy shit. Take a pic? Maybe I will. Alright, I took some photos. He wants to go to sleep, but he's afraid he'll miss something. Oh. Time to take more photos. Max, you're good. Why are you good? All right, folks. Uh-oh. All right. Max is done playing nice. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching today's show. I will be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Again, on the weekends, I will be doing 9 a.m. But weekdays, I'll be doing 10 a.m. So I'm just throwing that out there. Y'all have a great day. If anyone needs anything from me, feel free to send me a message. I will try to reply, but, I've been kind of bad lately with replying on time. But I will try to reply. If I do reply, if you ask me something and I say I'll get back to you later and I don't get back to you, bully the shit out of me because I probably forgot. There's a lot going on in my life, so so just give me a little bit here. One of these days I will reach equilibrium, but that day is not today. So thank you all for watching. You have a great rest of your day. And I will see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye. That's it. Show's over. Time to get wasted.
Everybody comes in your grandmother, your father, everybody comes in your grandmother, your everybody comes in your grandmother, your everybody comes in your grandmother.
Get your words straight, Jack.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
In person, in my office, in Philadelphia.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. I'm about to be 34 and I have no family.
It's not they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television. Make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words.
Everybody comes in your grandmother, your